Hello everyone, and thanks for checking out my RC Retro channel. So a few weeks ago, this Tamiya Top Force Evolution popped up on one of the many auction sites I scour. The auction started at 50,000 yen, which is roughly a little under 500 US dollars, and I followed this auction over a couple days, and during its last few hours, I watched it jump from 60,000 yen all the way up to 120,000 yen, or roughly 1,100 US dollars. And right after this auction, I saw this original new in box Tamiya Toyota 4x4 go for 357,000 yen, which is around 3,300 US dollars. So this got me thinking, how much do vintage RC new in box kits go for? Now there's a lot of debate online, on forums and Facebook pages, and there's always that guy that asks, oh, how much is this worth? Or the guy who posts a picture of somebody else's new in box kit that they're trying to sell, and the person will say, what are they, crazy, asking that amount? So I decided to compile some recent vintage RC kit sales from various websites. Okay, here are my guidelines. First, it had to be vintage and not a re-release, and had to be unbuilt. Second, it had to be an auction, or buy it now. No best offer, because you only see what the asking price is, but online auctions like eBay don't post a negotiated best price offer that was settled upon between the buyer and the seller. So here you go, my findings. Oh, and by the way, I actually ended up buying one of these new in box kits that you're about to see. I haven't received it yet, but it should be here in about a week or two as it's coming from overseas. Remember that Toyota 4x4 pickup I was telling you about at the beginning of the video? Nah, that's not the one I bought. Actually, the final ending price on that auction was 417,000 yen, which is roughly 3,837 US dollars. Holy shit, that's a lot of money. I'm wondering if the person who actually bought it is going to build it. Anyways, the kit I purchased was the Tamiya Terra Conqueror, so I'm really looking forward to adding it to my collection. Alright, so what's a fair price for a vintage kit? I mean, I really can't give you a solid answer, but based on the data I collected, the simplest way is to just determine the average of all these sales, which is $454 US. Now, that's the simplest way. It doesn't mean it's the right way, if that makes sense. Look, there are so many variables that go into determining a price, like what's the condition of the box? Is it factory sealed? How old is it? How often do one of these pop up? How many were produced? What's the historical significance of this RC to the hobby? And the list goes on and on. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with the prices. Unfortunately, there is no set market value for these. So look, this comes down to the basic premise of supply and demand. There's not a lot of these vintage kids out there. We're addicted to the hobby. Well, at least I'm addicted. So the seller has every right to list the kit at what they want, and if the buyer wants it bad enough and is willing to pay that price, then it's worth it to that person who's purchasing it. It all comes down to personal choice. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it also helps you make more informed decisions about buying a new in-box vintage RC kit. So if you like this video, please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already, and as always, your support is greatly appreciated.